How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at my Tokyo Shock movies. Tokyo Shock was a division of Media Blasters, I think they're still around, put out a lot of cool over-the-top Asian horror movies. Tokyo Shock might be a bit of a misnomer. They're not all Japanese movies. They're all Asian, but they're not all necessarily Japanese. But lots of really fun stuff in this collection, and today, since we're getting near the end of the year, I'm just going to take a look at every single movie I have from them, and we're in for a pretty big haul today. I think we're more than 20 movies, so lots and lots of cool stuff. Before we get in, I don't think I have any of these with individual reviews, so if you guys see one and you either really like it or you're curious about it, or even if you don't like it, just feel free to tell me what you think of a movie if you've seen it, and maybe I'll do an individual review sometime later, maybe. So tell me if you see anything you're really interested in. But let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to cover the bigger movies first, and then the rest of them will be alphabetical, but I'm going to go ahead and get to the really big ones right off the bat. And first and foremost, we have One Missed Call. This is a collection of the first two movies, but I do have the third movie in its own release right here. But man, I love these back in the day, back when I was in high school. I watched so much Asian horror, and this was one of my favorites. You get a phone call right before you die, and it's how you're going to die. So you get to hear your death, you don't get to see it, and you have to try to figure out how to avoid it. Now, there was an American remake, and I remember absolutely hating it, but it's been years and years since I've seen it. But there's a really cool plot element at the end of this movie, and I remember the American remake just totally butchering it. So if you've only seen the American remake, don't judge this series by that one. It's really fun, and definitely check out the original by Takashi Miike, director of Ichi the Killer. But one thing really cool with this set is they're all 2-disc movies, and even though this isn't part of the set, they all match with the green faces on the top, and there's the Tokyo Shock logos at the bottom right there. I think they did release a slim case later on that had all the movies in it, if you wanted to buy them all up at once. So there's the first movie, open it up, and they're all 2-disc sets, which is really cool as well. And there's the back, slide that back in its house, and then you get the second movie, and the back, and it's a 2-disc set as well, but this time we're flippers. Kind of weird that it's the same box, but one's a flipper and one's on either side. But whatever, there's part 2, and then we move right along to part 3, One Missed Call 3 Final, the last one in the trilogy, and it's 2-disc as well. So I really do like all 3 of these films are 2-disc for a total of 6-disc right there. That was really fun. Anyway, so there's the One Missed Call movies. Let's put them off over here and move on to, you know how I said from the director of Ichi the Killer? Well, the next Tokyo Shock movie, Ichi the Killer. This is one of those really famous films. I remember people talking about just how crazy and extreme it was, you know, back in the day. And this one, you get a big threatening hitman, right? And the police are taking down his organization, well, an ex-cop, and the ex-cop has the insane Ichi the Killer working for him, and they're going to be fighting each other. You know, a big crime movie with a crazy over-the-top serial killer thrown in. In this movie, you know, like it says, special uncut edition, it goes pretty hard, quite famously, and I remember so many people going, "Oh man, have you seen this movie? It's absolutely insane," you know. So its reputation does precede it. Another really fun over-the-top one, Tokyo is Burning, Tokyo Gore Police. Tokyo Gore Police, there's this girl, and she has to take down this gang, but there's a new and very strange disease where the gang members, whenever they're wounded, rather than, you know, like growing back an arm well, you don't grow back arms regularly, but rather they have regenerative abilities, but not for human parts. They'll grow back their lost limbs as machine parts, you know, so you cut off an arm and they'll grow it back as like a sword or something. So she's there with the police and she has to take them all down, and they're all crazy bioweapon people. Well, yeah, crazy, insane, augmented people. It's pretty insane, over the top. Another one that has a bit of a reputation behind it, you know, a few very crazy scenes in here. And moving right along, this is a TV miniseries, Kazuo Umezz. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that. Horror Theater, 6 Dark Tales to Make You Cringe. And you get this really fun cover where it's, you know, the head bent back and whatnot. This was originally released in volumes, so if we open it up, we'll see Horror Theater, 2 episodes. And then we'll go Horror Theater 2 and 3. So you can buy the individual volumes, or you can buy the whole set, and that will have, you know, 1, 2, and 3 in it. But House of Bugs, Diet, Snake Girl, The Wish, The Present, and Deathmake. The Present has a Santa Claus in it. Maybe I should cover that for Christmas. I need to cover a lot of this stuff, so I might get to that one for Christmas. But anyway, up next, I found this pack recently with 2 of the Tomie movies in it. This is Tomie Beginning and Tomie Revenge. And it's this girl named Tomie, and she goes to schools, and like evil will follow her around. I don't know terribly much about the series, but these are, I think, later films in the series. So I want to find all of them and then watch them in order, but there's quite a bit of them, and they're kind of hard to find. But I figured I'd pick up these 2 why I saw them, you know, and hopefully I'll find the rest of them soon. But yeah, Tomie Beginning and Tomie Revenge. So 2 out of what I believe is like 5 to 7 movies or something. Anyway, those were the big ones I wanted to get, you know, covered first. Moving on to the alphabetical, and then after that the box sets. Up first we have Art of the Devil. And in Art of the Devil, we find there's this girl who was a mistress to a really rich guy, but she got cut off. You know, he kicked her out of his life when she got pregnant, so she uses voodoo to kill the entire guy's family. So there's this reporter that's relatively open-minded, and he's going to have to solve the mystery as to why everybody in this one family is dying. Pretty cool there, and there's the disc with the blood smeared on it, you know, and the Tokyo Shock logo right there. But anyway, yeah, that's Art of the Devil. And moving right along, we have Black Angel Collection, and this has 2 films in it. Flip it to the back, and it talks about how there's a brutal mob war, and the only threat to the new people in power is this hit woman known as the Black Angel. And in part 2, she's ordered to kill someone, but she finds out that it's someone who saved her in the past, and she doesn't know if she can do it. Or I think, rather, the bodyguard of the person she's ordered to kill is someone who saved her in the past. So, yeah, 2 assassin movies, and open it up right here. We have the chapter selection book and the feather on part 1 and the feather in blue on part 2. So that's pretty cool right there. An assassin movie. Moving right along, this is one I had to pick up just because of the title. It's under the Tokyo Shock Classics title, but this is called Devilman. And yeah, so kind of like a horror-themed superhero. Flip it to the back, and it talks about how there's these 2 friends, Akira and Ro, and one of their fathers unleashes demons when he's exploring Antarctica. He accidentally unleashes demons, a whole bunch of people get possessed, and one of the kids becomes possessed, and he's very, very evil, a big bad guy. and the other one gets possessed, but he somehow keeps his consciousness. So he's, you know, possessed, and he has all that power, but he somehow stays in control and becomes Devilman and has to fight all the other demon-possessed people. So an insane concept to turn horror into essentially, you know, superhero martial arts type stuff and, you know, crazy over-the-top fighting. I haven't seen this one yet, but I definitely want to watch it soon because it looks pretty fun. And that's the first we've seen of this Classics label, so that's pretty cool. There's at least one more in here that's also under Classics. Up next, GTO, the live-action movie. GTO, short for Great Teacher Onzuka. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But it's this ex-biker punk who becomes a school teacher, and he has to teach the kids, you know, valuable life lessons, but from the perspective of a former gangster-type character. And, you know, it's really interesting. It's based on a manga, and I haven't read the manga yet. I haven't seen this movie yet either. Would it be okay to jump right into the live-action movie, or should I watch the anime or the manga first? You know, like, is this... Because I know sometimes live-action anime movies aren't necessarily the best, but I found this for really cheap, so I thought I'd go ahead and pick it up, you know, even though I'm not 100% familiar with the series. But yeah, that's GTO, the live-action movie. Up next, take a look at this one. Hair extensions. This one I found recently in a dollar bin, and it's probably the reason why. Double disc special edition, but you open it up and it's just the single disc, a form of rental there, so that's probably why it wound up in the dollar bin. But take a look at the back and see this plot it talks about. The plot says that there's a dead woman that's found with a whole bunch of hair, and there's a mortuary attendant who has a hair fetish and finds that the corpse, even though it's dead, continues to make hair. So he sneaks it away and constantly harvests the hair and sells it to a beauty shop for hair extensions, but soon finds out that everyone who got those extensions starts meeting cruel fates, so he has to figure out what's going on with those hair extensions. It seems like the hair itself might be alive, which that is a crazy concept, and whenever I see that, I'm gonna definitely pick it up. And hey, just $1 though, so that's pretty cool. Moving right along, I found this one as well. Kunoichi Lady Ninja, you know, one of those crazy over-the-top female action movies. You know, there's 7 daughters that, after their family is killed, have to take revenge on a criminal organization. So, sounds pretty fun and over the top, but the crazy thing here is I opened it up, this is another form of rental, and it not only comes with Lady Ninja, but also Deadly Mirage. So there's a second movie randomly stuck in here that it doesn't say is in there on the cover there. So hey, I'll take a bonus sequel randomly snuck in. You know, that's the thing with buying used movies, is you never really know what people are going to do with them in the past. Up next, we have another Lady Ninja. This was Kunoichi. Again, don't know how to pronounce that. Lady Ninja, but this is Lady Ninja Kasumi Volume 1, and it's another one where this girl, her parents are killed, she's trying to protect her brother by becoming a lady ninja in the new town where she lives, and she's wounded and nursed back to health by this mysterious guy. And I gotta keep my hand right there because it's not this has extreme caution, contains adult content, and some of these pictures on the back, they're not outright bad, but I think YouTube would flip out if I showed them. But yeah, it's definitely a more adult-themed ninja version, you know. So 2 different Lady Ninja series right there, and this is a Volume 1, but I've never seen the others there. Anyway, another crazy story. Machine Girl, and this is about this girl and her brother and her friend go out and are killed, her brother and his friend rather, go out and are killed, and she seeks vengeance and almost dies and loses an arm. But mechanics take her in, give her a special machine gun arm, and the mother of the brother's friend has a chainsaw, and they go and attack the gang that killed them, but they also have crazy over-the-top weapons. You know, I really do love this crazy and extreme genre. How far can we push it? How crazy can we go? And I saw this, I couldn't resist picking this up. Machine Girl with a machine gun arm. That's, that's pretty fun right there. Anyway, moving right along to another Tokyo Shock Classics. This is Red Eye, and no, it has nothing to do with the Wes Craven film of the same name, completely happenstantial. But you flip it to the back, and it's a girl's first day working on this train, but guess what? Some of the cars are recycled cars from an accident that killed 100 people, and the train starts to take on a mind of its own. So a haunted train story. Got to love haunted train stories. But yeah, here's the disc, those eyes staring back at you. Red eyes, too, you know? So definitely have to check this out. That looks pretty cool. And moving right along, one with a slipcase here. And this one's The Sisters. Flip it to the back, and it talks about how there's this band, and the band gets a hotel room, number 409, but there's a vent with a little strip of white cloth hanging out of it, and they all feel compelled to investigate it. But of course, that's going to lead to some spooky ghost hauntings coming out of the vent right there, and you see her hanging upside down. Pretty cool, and a weird concept, supposedly based on like a true urban legend, you know? Moving right along, we have the Suicide Song, and you see the two of them engulfed in fire. Flip it to the back, and it's about this girl who's a musician, and one day in class, a girl kills herself, but she hears her humming a song, a strange song that sticks in her head why she's killing herself. So she and her friends begin to investigate and try to discover what's up with this mysterious song that the girl was singing when she died. So a mysterious, evil, cursed song right there. That's a pretty cool idea. And the next one, we have We're Going to Eat You, and this is actually the last one before the boxed sets, so we'll look at boxed sets right after this. But this is an older film, a horror comedy, a seriously demented and underrated horror comedy, and you get this guy, he's a cop, and he's chasing a criminal to this deserted island, but the island is full of cannibals, so the cop and the criminal have to team up to fight the cannibals and survive the island. So a pretty gruesome and over-the-top, and plus it says a horror comedy. This is actually, I believe, an older film. I've seen it on a few multi-packs in the past, but yeah, We Are Going to Eat You. Cop and a criminal get off an island full of cannibals. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at those box sets. I have a triple feature, and I have two double features. And this triple feature, there's some cool stuff in it. Tokyo Shock triple feature, Japanese Hell, Cursed, and Samurai Chicks. So you can see the descriptions on the back, but let's go ahead and take each of them out of the box and look at them individually. Japanese Hell is about this girl who's in a cult and kills a bunch of people, but then she gets visions of an insane and terrifying hell that she has to try to find a way to avoid. Up next is Cursed, and it's this girl that works at a convenience store, and it's haunted, and the bosses and all the customers start to get possessed, you know? And then Samurai Chicks, this is a really interesting concept. is there's a pop dance school. So it teaches young girls to be pop stars, but it turns out it's secretly teaching them to be assassins, and the girls will do things like hide secret codes in their dances, so they see a music video, they know that this dance actually is a code that means something, and they're trying to fight their way, girls for independence, you know? So that's a pretty crazy selection of movies there, and let's go ahead and shove these back in their box. So that's the triple feature, just put that up there, and now we have two double features. Discovery and Taxi Tonight. There's the back of the box, and let's pull out Taxi Tonight first. Talks about how there's, let's see, a guy who buys a taxi and picks up a mysterious ghost that disappears in the back seat, but then starts terrorizing his customers. And then we get Discovery. And Discovery, you get these two people that are trying to enjoy their honeymoon in a remote cabin, but turns out a girl was killed and buried on this land, and she's gonna start haunting them. So, two fun movies right there. I really love these double packs. And the last double pack we have here is the Commitment and the Unborn. And there's the back of this set. And if we take them out, let's talk about Commitment first. The Commitment, it says they're this group of girls, and they go to this special place that's supposed to grant wishes, and they ask for all these petty things, but of course it's real, and the price is going to be way higher than they expected, so that's fun there. And this next one, The Unborn. This girl wakes up, she'd been brutally attacked, but it turns out now she's pregnant, but there's some strange supernatural thing happening with her baby, so that's what that movie is going to be about. And let's open up the other one. And there's the Media Blasters catalog. I think we've seen that a few times. But yeah, so that's the final double pack, and that is quite a few movies we have here. I guess I'll put this one right here. But yeah, tons of Tokyo Shock movies. This is my collection so far. And if I get a bunch more, I'll do another video. But these are the ones I have right here. I don't have any individual reviews up yet. I would definitely like to do individual reviews for some of these, you know, One Missed Call, Tokyo Gore Police, Machine Girl. There's lots of crazy stuff. Red Eyes on a Train. I love trains, you know, so I'll definitely try to get to some individual reviews. But all that being said, if you saw anything in here that you think is interesting, definitely tell me in the comments, and I might do an individual review for that. But anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for sticking around. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. If you guys want to see more, you can click right there and see more. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.